I walked cautiously through the hallways of the house. A few moments were enough to tell me where the noises came from. They were louder behind that brown door, the door to my parents' old room. When I was 8 years old, I lived in a very big house with my father, my stepmother, and my 2 half-sisters, who were 6 and 7. One weekend my parents left for a trip and left us with a nanny they trusted completely. She slept in my parents' room, which was on the 2nd floor. My sisters and I made a kind of fort out of sheets on the ground floor and slept there. Everything was fine until, in the middle of the night, I heard a strange sound, like something scratching the wooden floor. We only had carpet in the rooms upstairs, so the noise couldn't have come from there. It was very close to us. At the time we had 2 dogs, a golden retriever and a chocolate Labrador. When they ran they made a lot of noise, but this wasn't one of those familiar sounds. The scratches were slow, with a long pause between each one, careful almost. After thinking about it, I realized they could be steps. First the noise was in the kitchen. Then it seemed to move down one of the corridors. Suddenly it got louder and louder. It was definitely getting closer to our little fort. It kept the same slow, careful rhythm. It sounded like it was going around our small house. I didn't know what to do. My little sisters were fast asleep and I didn't want to wake them and scare them. The steps moved away again for a moment, but that did nothing to calm me. Something was walking inside our house. For a long time I just listened. The sounds came near the bathroom, moved along the corridor, came near our fort again, turned around it, and then moved away. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I gathered my courage and went to investigate. I thought it was better to find out what was happening before waking the nanny. I left the fort and took a flashlight from my dad's toolbox. I walked cautiously through the hallways. A few moments told me where the sounds came from. They were heard more intensely behind that brown door, my parents' old room. By their orders we were strictly forbidden to enter that room because they kept very valuable things in there. For a moment I thought about going upstairs to wake the nanny, but a chill stopped me. What if there were several of whatever it was, wandering the house? So I kept going toward the end of the corridor. The sounds stopped just then. I decided to open the door carefully. As it started to crack open I saw a shadow move behind the piano. I could only see that shadow for a few seconds, but I realized it was walking on 2 legs. The shape didn't look completely human. One leg looked slightly bent and there was something like a tail. When the silhouette ran to hide I heard the scratches again. That thing was making the noise when it walked. I shone the flashlight and the first thing I saw were 2 yellow eyes. It was Oso, our golden retriever, walking on his hind legs. I screamed and dropped the flashlight. For a moment I only saw the silhouette of my dog walking away into the darkness, on 2 legs like when a dog jumps up and someone helps him balance. It was as if someone was helping him walk, but there was no one there. When I picked up the flashlight again he had taken 4 or 5 steps with his back turned to me. When the light fell on him he turned, stood for a few seconds, then dropped back down onto all 4s and walked away like nothing strange had happened. He went down the stairs and acted normally. What terrifies me most is that I had heard those sounds for 10 or 15 minutes before I went out. That meant my dog had been walking on his hind legs that whole time, slowly going around the house. I swear this story is real and I never found out why it happened. Oso had never done it before, and as far as I know he never did it again. The next day the nanny told me she had woken up at some point and opened the bedroom door. The streetlight coming through the window let her see Oso standing on his hind legs, approaching her and making very strange sounds, like he was trying to speak or imitate the human voice. She was terrified. I still don't know what made him do that or why it happened that night.